Go to gallery. Let me go to gallery.
Hi, everyone. It is Saturday shout out time, and we are here to feature Laura Madrid-Smith with her heart-based business, and also to get to know another Thrive Tribe member a little bit better. And this is very special to me because Laura and I used to work together a long time ago, back when I was an assistant principal at a very large alternative education site. So it's good for me to see her here. Hi, Laura. Welcome.
Hi, Joelle, Miss Hood.
You can call me whatever you want.
JoJo.
So welcome, and tell our audience a little bit about yourself.
About myself. Well, I'm Laura Madrid-Smith, as JoJo said. We worked together at a continuation alternative ed facility or school site or whatever it was. It was a magical, amazing place to work. There really are no words to describe our school site. It was crazy. It was beautiful. It was our beautiful chaos at times, and those were actually my heydays, to be honest with you. It was amazing to work with JoJo, Ms. Hood, all good in the hood. She was just our bright bucket of sunshine coming into work, her bouncy curls, her little sassiness, her peace. She taught us so much, especially of just how to have a tranquil place. You know, when you have a mixed bowl of beautiful kids from all different walks, different nationalities, and you make a mesh, it was amazing. It was absolutely amazing. I don't even have words to describe what it was like.
They were good times. But you were talking about me. You're supposed to be telling us about you. You were
yes.
as well.
So sorry.
No, that's okay. It was a really neat time. We did a lot of good for a lot of kids. And proud years. Proud years.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about you.
So I am Laura. I am the youngest of 6 kids. Native American, Mexican American, you name it. It was great. I'm from East LA, East Los. And I have 4 children. I have grandbaby number 10 due in September. So I know. I just love it. I still work at the school district. I am actually in pre-K now. We run the preschool program, which is great. The caring closet, which is amazing. We have shoes, clothes, jackets, backpacks, notebooks, all different supplies for our families and our kids, citizenship classes, English classes, math classes, Rosetta Stone. I mean, it's a whole bunch of good stuff. But I also have a side business that I do. It's called Plexus. And a quick little snippet of my story is after Joelle moved on to greener pastures, I eventually left continuation school, and about 9 months after I left Mojave High School, I got breast cancer. And it kind of threw everybody because I've always pretty much taken care of myself, and there's really no breast cancer in our family. So it just shook me, and mine was extremely aggressive. I had to act quickly, so I opted for a mastectomy and a year of chemotherapy and endless surgeries. I don't know, I'm 5, maybe 6 surgeries. And so health and wellness was huge for me, and there were so many things coming at me. They were like, try this and do this and try this one, that one. It was like, hold up, I need to read everything. I need to read everything. So I ended up going with Plexus, and I'm so thankful for it because post-cancer, I'm coming up a year. Whoop, whoop.
Woo-hoo!
And I'm prescription free. I don't take any prescription medicines or medications. Um, it's all plant-based, which I love. I eat well. I eat, mainly plant-based, no dairy, pH water. So my passion, first of all, is I have a really strong spiritual relationship with my manufacturer, my creator. And secondly is really my true passion is teens, working with teenagers. And they may call them or label them at risk. I don't say that. They're just in a certain part of their journey, in their walk. And that is what makes this ticker tick, is the teens. And just reaching out to people and being there for people. I also have a real soft heart for the elderly. And so I do some side things with the elderly and convalescent homes and food and, you know. So, but that's what makes me tick. And people will say sometimes, having cancer, it must be horrible, and they feel so bad, and it's like, why you? And I hear all kinds of different things, and I've never once asked, why me? How could I possibly do that when I see babies that don't understand cancer hooked up in pins and needles, and they're smiling? They are smiling. So this journey has been really interesting, hard at times, but I wouldn't change it. It has absolutely been an amazing, beautiful, blessed walk, like a caterpillar and the cocoon and the metamorphosis, the whole thing. That's what it was like. That's how I can kind of describe it. Like,
You have always had such, since I've known you.
I can't hear you.
You can't hear me? Can you hear me now?
Let me see.
Uh-oh. You there?
I hear you.
Okay.
Okay.
You have always had such a positive and resilient spirit, and that is evident even though you've gone through all of these trials. And I appreciate
Thank you.
your willingness to be vulnerable and share that with others, because there may be people watching who are just hearing the news that they might have something similar, or
Yes.
someone that they care about is going through that. And so I want to ask you, I'll go back to Plexus in a moment because I want to ask another question about that. But what do you think, what well-being practices, you mentioned plant-based, were there any social emotional type of practices that you did as well, like a mindfulness or gratitude or self-care, self-compassion, any of those practices that were useful to you?
Oh my goodness, all of it, all of that. So, okay, so for 6 months, I pretty much had to be in a bubble. I got my first chemotherapy on 9/11, so it was like bombs away. And it was during flu season. I had to pretty much be in a bubble. And so being in four walls, and I couldn't go out where there was light, my skin would just burn. The chemotherapy came out of my pores. I would get pustules and bleed, and I don't want to get too graphic because it was pretty gory. So it's very interesting. Being a woman, we have hair and we do our makeup, and that's kind of how we identify. And quite frankly, we have boobs. And so when you look in the mirror and you're completely bald and you have no eyelashes, no eyebrows, you have pustules all over your face, no boobs, you have to look in the mirror. I didn't recognize myself. And so it was like I looked in the mirror and I said, all right, we're going to do this. We're in this walk together, me and you. I called myself Uncle Fester just to make me laugh. I had to laugh. And so I said, let's do this. I needed to go deep and dive deep to see who I really was. Who was Cha-Cha? Who was Laura without the hair, without the makeup, without the tatas? And I got to know who I truly was. And yeah, at times I looked hideous. I'm not going to, I mean, it felt like Quasimodo. And why wasn't I made of stone? And blah, 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 you know, I used to say these things to myself and laugh, but it's like opening Pandora's box little by little and taking out that one item, third grade, that you held on to, face it, talk to it, say, I'm done with you, done. And I would always look outside and say, you know what? The sun is still rising. The sky is still blue. The birds are still singing. My family is still here. And I hid it a lot from my family. I'm going to be honest with you. I wasn't completely sincere with this walk of cancer because it was harder to see the pain on my kids' faces when they would see me. So I'd slap on makeup, put on my glasses, put on this cool wig, put on an Axl Rose bandana, like, you know, I was this cool mom. They'd come in, I'm like, hi, blah, 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 blah. Mom, you look great. Yeah, I know. Kicking cancer's butt. And then they'd leave, and I'm like, so I prayed a lot. Footsteps in the sand is true. Totally true, because there was one set of footsteps from August until January. And then he put me down to walk again. And had my wings. I became a butterfly again, and I didn't think it was going to happen at the time, you know? But it was a beautiful journey. It was a beautiful journey, and it still is. It's still, I have an inner peace that I've never had before, and had it not been for this walk. And I've always been kind of, you know me, JoJo, always been laughing and joking and on the bright side. But I had never been in a storm this severe, and I've been in quite a few. But when you don't know if you're going to survive or make it, it's a different story, you know, and you start looking at life differently. So there was a lot of beauty in it.
Well, it's an extraordinary story, and you are an extraordinary woman. Can you, just to go back to Plexus for a minute, for those who don't know what it is, can you just describe what Plexus is and what it does?
Plexus is, it's a way of life. It's a healthy choice. It, after being blasted with so much medication and antibiotics, and one time I had 38 bottles of medication and over-the-counter stuff that I was taking. And when I was done with chemotherapy, I needed to detox. And there was so many things out there, and I wouldn't just take anything. It wasn't, and also people think when you get cancer, you get really skinny. Well, you're pumped up with so much chemotherapy and steroids, you expand and you get swollen, and it's hard to get that to release. Your gut just holds on to yeast, candida, all of that, and you can't break anything down. You get sick, your immune system, and I was determined to make sure that my immune system was strong so this wouldn't come back again. And so Plexus, we have amazing products. We have a ProBio 5 that's a probiotic with an antifungal, which most of them don't have that in it. People also don't realize that if you have fungus in your nails, that's also a sign, a precursor for cancer. Toenail, nails. If you have blemishes, it's all bacteria. And they don't realize how much your gut controls your emotions, depression. I just, I've learned so much about your gut and living healthy and living clean. And I think of all my friends that I've known that have fought depression, and to think, what if their gut had just been clear of this? And some aren't here anymore because of depression. I want to get the word out there that you have to take care of your body. We are living in a toxic place with our cell phones, computers, microwaves, processed foods, things that your brain cannot break down. Sugar, refined sugar, it cannot break that down. It doesn't know. It's an excitogen. It makes you crazy, So sugar wreaks havoc in your body. And so I just want people to understand that and I'm Mexican, so let's face it. What do? We eat tacos, carne asada, frijoles, beans. We like to eat, and so to not eat meat, chicken.
Hold that thought for 1 second. My dogs are going crazy.
Yeah.
Can you hear them?
Jason's home.
Jason's home. I'm gonna close the door. Hold that
Okay.
thought. Okay, I'm not sure if that will help, but we'll see.
It's all good. It's all good in the hood.
So you were saying that you used to eat a lot of, carnitas and tacos and
yeah. So now I just eat differently. I still eat my Mexican food. I just eat differently. Beans, avocado is in my taco, and it's good.
Nice.
My cholesterol was sky high. It was sky high. It came down 100 points. I lost over 25 pounds. And I was in pain. Chemotherapy causes a lot of pain and inflammation. And so I noticed it right away. And so it is my way of life.
Well, we'll be putting links in the comments
okay.
That to you and to Plexus, so that if people have questions, they can ask about that. What I'd like to do now is just ask you some kind of wild little questions, and I don't want you to overthink them. I just want you to say the first thing that comes into your mind.
Let's go.
What is one thing that you want to learn to do in the next year?
Skydive.
Skydiving, right? All right. I'd like you to, since you're so healthy and eating plant-based food, I would like you to describe yourself as a piece of fruit. What, if you were a piece of fruit, what would you be and why?
I would, oh gosh, that is a good one. Don't think too much on it. I'd be a pineapple.
Okay, because?
Because pineapples have cute hair, and I'm all about the hair now. They're a little rough on the edges, They can poke and pick if you come at them wrong. I'm still working on that. I may become a peach, but right now I'm still a pineapple.
Nice. And then inside?
And the inside is truly, truly good for you. It's not so harsh. It's kind of sweet, once you break through, that tough skin and the pokers. I think I'm a pineapple.
And super juicy zest for life. That's you.
Oh, I like that. I like that. Thank you.
Okay, last question.
Okay.
Again, don't overthink. If you could teach the world just one thing, and there's a bunch of the world listening right now, what is that one thing you want them to know?
If I could teach them kindness. Because if you have kindness, it changes everything. If you have kindness, your lens is not calloused. You can take those calluses off and look at people, all different people. If you're kind to someone, what bad could happen? What ill will can happen if you're kind?
Mm.
I can't think of anything. I cannot think of anything, and it doesn't take a lot of effort to be kind. A smile in the grocery store. You know, that person may not have seen or talked to anyone in a week. You know, we have
Absolutely.
no idea how powerful kindness is.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Cha-Cha, Laura Madrid-Smith. I appreciate you being here. You have lived an extraordinary life. You are an extraordinary woman, and I can't wait to see all of the amazing things you do and your skydiving pictures on Facebook. Thrive Tribe, now when you see Laura comment in the Thrive Tribe, you can be like, I saw her, I know her story, because it's so important to know each other's stories, right? So
Yes.
thank you. Again, I'll put the comments, links in the comments for Plexus, and I just really appreciate it. Everybody have a great rest of your Saturday, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you,
Bye.
Joelle. Bye.
Thank
Love
you.
you.